When I passed a lottery ticket shop, a scrolling text suddenly appeared before my eyes. Today, the female lead will win the 100 million jackpot at this shop. With this money, the female lead will help the male lead start his business and become a billionaire's wife. Only real money can buy real feelings. Isn't the male lead currently in love with the female antagonist? When the time comes, the female lead will throw money at him, and the male lead will sooner or later kneel at her feet. I rubbed my eyes, sure it wasn't a hallucination, and immediately rushed into the lottery shop. Shop owner, I'll buy all the lottery tickets in your shop today. I scratched thousands of tickets all evening and finally won the 100 million jackpot. The scrolling text truly didn't lie to me. The feeling of getting rich overnight, even if it's just a little, is so refreshing. While I was still joyful, the scrolling text appeared again. The female lead's jackpot was stolen? Who is this passerby? Don't worry, even if the female lead loses the prize, she can still pick up the rough jade outside the shop door. That's a top-grade imperial green jade worth 200 million. My eyes lit up. Mine, it's all mine. I sat in front of my computer all day, unable to type a single word. Finally, I had to face reality. I, the unlucky little author, Nyla Huang, who writes under the pen name Tiny Money, was stuck again. I'm not afraid of you laughing at me. As a full-time author, March was almost over, and I hadn't written a single new article. Looking at the clock, it was almost the end of the month. If I couldn't write something, I'd probably have to live on fresh air next month. So anxious, so frustrated. That's why I decided to leave the house, go out for a walk to find some inspiration and material. As soon as I went downstairs, the security guard in my complex was proposing to the widowed auntie next door. Flowers, candles all over the ground, and he held a golden jewelry box. Auntie Susan, marry me, I'll treat you well my whole life. A romantic twilight romance? This theme is also good, but I don't know how to write it. Leaving the complex, the couple on the floor above me was arguing. The girl angrily threw the bouquet her boyfriend gave her and turned to get into a supercar. Ethan, besides giving flowers, what else can you give? I've been with you through thick and thin for 3 years, and you're still stuck in place. I can't wait anymore. Don't look down on a poor man. 30 years east of the river, 30 years west of the river. Serena, don't you regret it? 3 years of love lost to reality. The female lead changes her heart, the male lead struggles, and a few years later, the male lead returns successfully, bringing a beauty with him, making the female lead regret it, or do they reunite? Too old-fashioned, too heartbreaking. I don't want to write it. I kept walking. Passing a lottery ticket shop. I stopped, looked up, and rubbed my chin, thinking. If I continue to be stuck this month, I'll definitely be living on fresh air next month. Or should I buy a lottery ticket and take a gamble? What if I become a rich woman overnight? Then I could just lay around and do nothing for a whole year, right? If I'm lucky, maybe even for life? Didn't win again. Sigh, when will my luck with the lottery come? I've been buying tickets for a year and haven't won once. Young man, you're impatient after just 1 year? I've been buying for 10 years, and the biggest prize I've won is only 10,000. Exactly, young man, go home, wash your face, and sleep. You'll have everything in your dreams. 2 uncles and a young man walked past me, waving their sleeves, leaving behind a painful reality. Alright, I must have been so confused by the idea of getting rich that I thought I could change my life overnight just by buying a lottery ticket. I lifted my foot, turned around, and was about to leave. Suddenly, 2 lines of golden text appeared before my eyes. Today, the female lead will win the 100 million jackpot at this shop. With this money, the female lead will help the male lead start his business and become a billionaire's wife. Only real money can buy real feelings. Isn't the male lead currently in love with the female antagonist? When the time comes, the female lead will throw money at him, and the male lead will sooner or later kneel at her feet. I rubbed my eyes again, the text was still there. It seemed it wasn't a hallucination. Thinking of the popular web novels with scrolling text recently, could it be that it was finally my turn to be the female lead? My heart pounded with excitement, my hands trembled, and I immediately rushed into the lottery shop. I swung my hand with a flourish. "Shop owner, I'll buy all the lottery tickets in your shop today. Clear them all out." The shop owner was startled by me. He crossed his arms and looked me up and down, his eyes full of suspicion. "Little girl, I see you're still so young, but you have such a big mouth. Do you know how many thousands of tickets I have in my shop today? That's tens of thousands of yuan. I think you're probably still a high school student. Are you sure you can afford it? Wow, does he mean I look young and innocent? Heaven pities me, I'm already 26 this year. To be mistaken for a high school student, what a surprise, and I'm so happy." The shop owner's words are so sweet, he'll definitely prosper in any business he does. I wish him good fortune. "Shop owner, I have money, don't believe me, just scan my WeChat QR code." Hee, it's time to use my retirement fund. I've been a full-time author for 2 years, I haven't been unlucky forever, right? At least I've earned a few $100,000, and even though I spend money quite freely, I still have a habit of making regular deposits. People really need to save money. Otherwise, when a chance to get rich comes, you won't be able to seize it. Grateful for my foresight. The shop owner, half believing, scanned my payment QR code. WeChat received 60,000 yuan. His eyes widened in astonishment. I grinned happily and started scratching tickets. 1 ticket, 2 tickets, 3 tickets, 2,999 tickets. I won. Sob, 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 I finally scratched off the 100 million jackpot. It was worth all the effort, scratching until my hands were numb. Shop owner. I won. The scrolling text truly didn't lie to me. The feeling of getting rich overnight, even if it's a small amount, is so incredibly satisfying. The shop owner was even happier than me, his eyes teary as he looked at me, so moved he stammered. Just as he finished explaining the prize claim procedure, a clear, pleasant voice sounded behind me. "Shop owner, give me a lottery ticket. Oh, are there any tickets left?" My whole body trembled slightly, and I slowly turned my head. A face of exquisite beauty. A figure of ultimate charm. What kind of stunning beauty is this? But, at this time, a girl with such beauty comes to buy lottery tickets. Ah, my female lead is so beautiful, she's practically fainting material. Every time I see her, I'm moved. Her beauty is truly top tier. Female lead? Is she the female lead the text was talking about? No, if she's the female lead, then who am I? While I was confused, the text appeared again. Why was the female lead's jackpot snatched away? Who is this passerby? Don't worry, even if the female lead doesn't get the prize, isn't there still the rough jade outside the shop door? That top-grade imperial green jade is worth 200 million. Passerby. Passerby, passerby. Those 3 words kept repeating in my head. Damn it. So I'm just a passerby? I clearly saw the text say female lead, didn't I? So the billionaire's wife in the text wasn't me either? Friends, do you understand the feeling of being clearly one step away from heaven, but before you can even take that step, someone knocks you straight into the mud, making you fall flat on your face? I'm devastated. 100 million was about to be in my hands. No, the shop owner said after tax, it would be 80 million, suddenly it didn't seem so appealing anymore. The shop owner was probably also stunned by the female lead's beauty, his mouth agape, unable to speak. I sighed, patted the female lead's shoulder, and told her the painful truth. My dear, you're one step too late. All the lottery tickets in this shop are sold out. Try another shop. Hee, the female lead smells so good. I want to hug her so badly but don't dare. The text appeared again. This passerby is so annoying, she clearly stole the female lead's good luck, yet she doesn't feel any guilt. Well, maybe this passerby doesn't know that the 100 million lottery ticket originally belonged to the female lead, saying that also seems a bit unfair to her. Don't worry about that anymore. My darling Queenie. Hurry and pick up that rock blocking the shop door. That's a top-grade imperial green jade worth 200 million. Hurry, I'm dying of impatience. Actually, I felt a little guilty inside, I knew, ha ha, ha. But a top-grade imperial green jade worth 200 million? One step, two steps, finally, I moved to the door. I lowered my head and looked, and indeed, there was an ugly black rock there. The scrolling text exploded again. Ah. What is that passerby trying to do? Why is she moving closer to that imperial green jade? Did she discover it? Help. Queenie's 100 million prize has been snatched. This 200 million jade absolutely cannot. No. No way. It's over, darling Queenie's good luck, the sweet long-term love story of the male and female leads, the face-slapping of the female antagonist, it's all gone. Is it really this rock? Hee hee, thank you, lovely little scrolling texts, for telling me. My eyes shone brightly. I bent down, extended my hand, and in an incredibly reverent posture, I embraced my 200 million rock. Shop owner, do you sell this rock outside the door? The female lead, Queenie, frowned slightly and suddenly clutched her chest. She stepped towards me, her gaze fixed on the rock in my arms, a glimmer of doubt flashing in her eyes, then she suddenly spoke. Sister, can I take a look at this rock? My heart skipped a beat. Instinctively, I hugged the stone tightly to my chest like a child and subtly turned to shield it. My dear, though you're truly beautiful, and I like you very much, I saw this rock first, so you can't fight me for it. This is 200 million. 200 million. I absolutely won't let anyone steal it. Not even the female lead. Humph, she's the female lead, she definitely has the female lead's aura. If she misses this opportunity, she'll have plenty of other opportunities later. I'm just a passerby. If I miss out on 300 million, 100 million lottery, 200 million jade, I might never have a chance to change my life again. Morality, integrity, none of that matters to me now. I just want to be a rich woman doing nothing. I don't want to stay up all night writing stories for paltry royalties, being scolded by readers as a fake author, and having my family dragged into it too, sob sob sob. Although, my family members have long since dedicated themselves to the country and gone to the other side. But seeing the female lead's gradually disappointed, slightly reddened eyes, my heart suddenly felt a pang. Damn this compassion. I pouted, forced a smile, and reluctantly moved the stone slightly closer to her. Don't cry. I'll just let you look at it for a bit, just a quick glance, okay? Queenie blinked excitedly and nodded repeatedly. Yes, I'll just look for a bit. She reached out, took the stone, carefully examined it, then returned it to me. Sister, you're so lucky. This stone seems to be. An alarm bell immediately went off in my head. I jumped up, startled, and quickly rushed to cover her mouth. Oh my God, I almost let her spill it. I don't know if she understands rough jade, but not letting her speak is definitely the right choice. After all, this stone is still the lottery shop's doorstop right now. I haven't bought it yet. Oh my God. That passerby even got close to darling Queenie. I'm so jealous. Everyone, why do I increasingly feel that this passerby knows there's imperial green jade inside that stone? Yuri not alone above. I even feel like she knew the female lead's good luck in advance and deliberately snatched it. I felt very guilty, but luckily the scrolling text didn't know I could see them. Queenie was surprised when I suddenly covered her mouth. She blinked but didn't struggle much. She was as well behaved as a good child, her big round eyes almost melting my old heart. This is the chosen female lead. She is the chosen female lead. From now on, every time I read or write a story, the image of the female lead in my head will definitely be this face. I must write her into my new story. Brother, understand but don't say it out loud. I looked at her seriously. She nodded slightly. Only then did I release my hand from her mouth. As expected of the female lead, her lips were soft. "Shop owner, is this stone for sale?" Having confirmed that Queenie wouldn't say anything else, I hugged the stone and walked towards the shop owner. He looked at me, then at Queenie. The man, over 40, had a slightly reddened face. "Little girl, you spent so much money in my shop today and even won the jackpot. My shop will probably become famous starting tomorrow. I'll give you this stone." "Oh, right, from now on, when you come to my shop to buy lottery tickets, they'll all be free." While the shop owner is so good at doing business, he'll prosper in whatever he does. Good people live long and peaceful lives. I wish you continued good fortune. I thanked the shop owner and hugged the stone as I bolted out the door. Oh my God. This passerby is incredibly lucky, getting 300 million for free, and even getting to talk closely with the female lead. Given the current situation, why do I feel like this passerby has more of a female lead aura? Not to mention, I increasingly feel like she knows the future? Could it be? Could she be a transmigrator? There doesn't seem to be this character in the original novel, right? Could she be the author of this story who transmigrated? The scrolling text above my head flashed incessantly. I was so guilty that I didn't dare to look up, head down, and ran as fast as I could. The 20-minute walk took me 7 minutes to run home. Once I got home, I triple-locked the door. I carefully placed the lottery ticket and the rough jade in front of my parents' portraits, lit 3 incense sticks, and bowed 3 times. "Dad, Mom, your daughter's luck has changed. In this life, I'll definitely not have to worry about food and clothing anymore. You two can rest assured and reincarnate." The wind blew, gently rustling the curtains. The 3 incense sticks in the censer immediately burned out. I knew that for all these years, my parents had always been by my side. A high monk once said that my parents, when they were alive, did many good deeds, contributing to the world without seeking fame or profit, living a life of integrity, and were people of great merit. Their biggest worry was me, so they hadn't been willing to enter reincarnation. I think this opportunity with the scrolling text must also be thanks to my parents' good fortune. Perhaps because I was struck by heaven-sent luck, I no longer had to worry about my work data or living expenses for the next month. That night, I rarely slept soundly until noon the next day, without any insomnia. The scrolling text on the screen continued to chatter endlessly. What to do now? Why does it feel like the plot is about to go crazy? The female lead lost her opportunity, lost 300 million. Now the male lead has been dumped by the female antagonist and is in a state of collapse. If the female lead doesn't have money to help him recover, how will the male lead become a billionaire later? The female lead has been standing outside the male lead's house all night, not daring to knock on the door. So sad, my darling Queenie is so reserved in love. That's how unrequited love is. Bittersweet, silently giving. Looking at these lines of text, I felt more and more guilty and uneasy. Did the female lead really have no other opportunities? Would the 300 million I snatched cause this world to lack a billionaire? And what about the female lead and male lead? What if because of me, they miss out on a sweet love story? My mind was in a tangled mess, and the text continued to appear. Help! The female lead didn't go in to find the male lead last night. After the male lead was dumped by the female antagonist yesterday afternoon, he drank all night and is now unconscious from alcohol poisoning. Oh my God, is the male lead going to die now? No. Ethan, you have to hold on, don't die. So anxious, darling female lead, go in and check. Huh? No way, is it that serious? Is it life-threatening? Wait, Ethan? Isn't that too much of a coincidence? I remember the tenant upstairs is also named Ethan. Yesterday afternoon, I even saw him and his girlfriend arguing at the complex gate. What was her girlfriend's name? It's all because of that Serena, she's such a vicious female antagonist. Look what she's done to the male lead. If the male lead dies, I'll definitely draw a curse circle to make Serena unable to have a son her whole life. Serena. That's right, it was her. It all fits. Everything fits. I sprung out of bed like a carp leaping over the dragon gate, not even bothering to change out of my pajamas before rushing upstairs. Indeed, outside apartment 1906, a haggard-looking Queenie was leaning against the wall. "My dear, don't just stand there, hurry and knock on the door, the mail. I mean, Ethan is in trouble." Queenie stared at me blankly, taking a long time to react. "Fine, I'll do it myself." No sooner said than done, I backed up for a running start and slammed into the door. The door didn't budge, but my arm hurt instead. After 3 futile attempts, I gave up, preparing to call a locksmith, when Queenie finally came to her senses. "Oh, actually, I know his password." "Me? Oh my God, my beloved female lead, can you be any slower? Waiting for me to knock myself out before you speak." The process of saving the male lead wasn't pretty, but the result was acceptable. Finally, we managed to get the male lead to the hospital. But I never expected the male and female leads to be so poor. Whose male lead only has exactly 108 yuan on him? Whose female lead has less than 100 yuan on her entire body? These two are truly 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. No wonder they became the male and female leads. I don't know what the original author was thinking to create such pathetic main characters. Trying to create some new trend? But even if it's an inspirational romance novel, does it need to go this far? Adults in their 20s or 30s, with only 3-digit assets, is that reasonable? Is that reasonable? In the end, the male lead's hospital bill of 508 yuan was still paid by me. Really, this male lead, even if he doesn't work, he should at least buy health insurance, right? He wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth, yet he doesn't even know these basic things. I, a full-time author without a company to pay insurance for me, even pay for my own voluntary insurance and health insurance, which is only a little over 1,000 yuan a month. This book is really not well written at all. Ethan was still unconscious, and Queenie sat by his bedside, her eyes welling up. Seeing me return after paying the hospital bill, she looked up at me, tears glistening. "Thank you, sister. I'll definitely pay you back the hospital fees." Her eyes were clear and sincere like a little deer's, making me feel so guilty. If I hadn't snatched her opportunity last night, they would probably be deeply in love by now, and the male lead wouldn't be suffering like this. I looked away, not daring to face her. "It's okay, we're neighbors. Helping each other is just what we should do." Queenie's gaze towards me became even more grateful. Oh my God, this passerby is so shameless. If she hadn't snatched the good luck, the male lead wouldn't have alcohol poisoning, and the female lead wouldn't have to stand outside the door all night. Why is she pretending to be a good person? She's so fake. Shameless. Well, the passerby didn't know that 300 million was the female lead's, so saying that is a bit unfair to her, right? It's a heaven-sent opportunity, whoever gets it owns it, right? Are you stupid above? Do you understand the situation? This is a sweet romance novel. The opportunities in the story are all for the female lead to drive the plot forward. If the plot is already messed up at the beginning of the story, what else is there to read? I'm actually looking forward to the new storyline. It wouldn't be bad if the 3 of them were together, he. What are you looking forward to? If the male and female lead's relationship line is broken, this story is over. What else is there to read? Don't scold anymore, don't scold, don't scold. That's 300 million. If such good luck fell on your heads, I don't believe you wouldn't take it. Humph, it's easy to talk. At least I helped take the male lead to the hospital and paid his hospital fees. Otherwise, he'd probably be dead by now. What are you arguing about? The scrolling text was still fiercely debating. Just as the number of comments on this section was about to reach 99 plus, the male lead finally woke up. Where am I? Queenie and I simultaneously turned to look at him. I have to admit, although the male and female leads are poor, their looks are truly top-notch. As expected of the author's beloved characters, their faces are clearly crafted much more delicately than a passerby like me. Queenie tightly clasped his hand, then, as if realizing something, immediately let go. Her face flushed as she said, "Ethan, you have alcohol poisoning. This is the hospital." Ethan raised a hand to rub his forehead, gently massaging it. As if remembering something, he stared at Queenie, his eyes full of anticipation. "Where's Serena? Did she come to see me?" A flicker of hurt appeared in Queenie's eyes, and she lowered her head. "No, I didn't tell her." Ethan's disappointment was evident. He laughed bitterly and sighed. "Right, she's already found a rich man and is about to marry into a wealthy family. Why would she care about the life or death of a poor guy like me now? Now, she probably even hopes I disappear from this world so I don't disturb her life as a rich wife." Queenie parted her lips, wanting to speak but hesitated, finally comforting him softly. "Ethan, don't overthink it. Focus on getting well. We'll deal with other things later." Oh my goodness, I never thought I'd get to witness the male and female lead's relationship line like this. But looking at these two, one still clinging to an ex-lover, the other loving him to death but not daring to confess, it's truly infuriating. I propped my chin, my eyes darting around. "Laughable, she doesn't want you anymore, and you're still putting on this life and death act for whom? My friend, isn't the most important thing now to strive for success, and return gloriously 30 years later, making her regret it?" Based on what I gathered from the scrolling texts, after organizing the information, I roughly understood the original plot of this book. Queenie and Ethan grew up together as childhood sweethearts, attending the same classes from a young age. Serena was Queenie's college roommate. In their first year of university, on Queenie's birthday, Ethan and Serena coincidentally took notice of each other. But Serena knew Queenie liked Ethan, so she never dared to pursue him. It wasn't until their senior year that the two accidentally got intimate and were caught by Queenie. That's when their ambiguous relationship was exposed. Queenie was also someone who knew how to let go. Between love and friendship, she chose friendship, sincerely wishing them well, even pretending to be nonchalant, saying that she had long since stopped liking Ethan. 3 years after graduation, Serena always stayed by Ethan's side as he started his business, while Queenie silently poured all her savings into helping Ethan, but he failed repeatedly. During those 3 years, Serena was not without pursuit from various eligible bachelors, but she rejected them all. 6 months ago, a rich young master began to pursue her very passionately, sending flowers and gifts every day. These gifts and surprises lasted for half a year. A handsome, wealthy young master who pampered her endlessly, compared to an unestablished Ethan with nothing, Serena finally chose the rich man. Her departure dealt a heavy blow to Ethan. But Queenie, thanks to the 300 million from her heaven-sent opportunity, always stayed by his side, silently supporting him. Finally, half a year later, Ethan's business succeeded. A year later, his company went public. It was then that he realized Queenie's feelings for him. They married first, then fell in love, living sweetly and happily. The only heartbreaking part of the story was probably when Serena returned to beg for forgiveness. On the day Queenie discovered she was pregnant, she accidentally overheard a conversation between them, misunderstanding that Ethan still had feelings for Serena. She left a divorce paper and went abroad with her unborn child. On his way to find her, Ethan got into a car accident and lost his memory of his time with Queenie, only remembering that Serena was the one he loved most. Fortunately, on the very day of his wedding with Serena, he suddenly regained his memory, immediately abandoning Serena and going abroad to find Queenie and bring her back. Afterward, he also investigated and found out that Serena had deliberately said things to make Queenie misunderstand and had tampered with his car, trying to kill him to seize his assets. Finally, there was a cool revenge plot against Serena, and then he and Queenie lived happily ever after. According to the scrolling texts, if the plot collapses, this small world might also be damaged. At that time, who knows what strange things will happen. To save my own skin, I decided I had to pull the plot back on track. Ethan's expression was a bit grim, but I knew he'd heard what I said. I seized the opportunity to continue. "You don't need to worry about money. Just focus on your work, I'll invest in you. Both of them turned to look at me simultaneously and spoke in unison. Why? I curled my lips into a smile. Don't ask. If you must ask, it's because I find you too pleasing to the eye. Weren't they pleasing to the eye? If it weren't for them, how would I have gotten rich overnight? After leaving the hospital, the first thing I did was cash in the winning lottery ticket. Then, I went to the biggest antique street in the city. They say one cut makes you poor, one cut makes you rich. Most of the people who come here are gamblers. Of course, there are also many looking for bargains. I chose an antique shop that looked well established. When I stepped inside, I saw only a young girl with 2 braids. Seeing me enter, she merely glanced at me, not bothering to greet me. But I wasn't angry. I hugged the stone tightly to my chest and walked over to ask. Sister, do you buy jade here? Only then did the girl look up at me, scrutinizing me, and said seriously. Yes, what kind do you want to sell? I carefully placed the stone on the counter. I don't know what kind yet. Can you cut stones here? The girl looked cold, but she worked very systematically. When she heard I wanted to cut a stone, she turned and went inside. A moment later, she brought out a middle-aged man, about 40 or 50 years old. For cutting stones, see him. 200 per cut. After I paid, the man brought out a machine and started cutting right outside the shop door. Not long after he started cutting, a vibrant green color was revealed inside. His eyes lit up, and his movements became much more careful. By the time a complete, top-grade imperial green jade block was cut out, his hands were trembling. It's been a long time since I've seen such beautiful imperial green jade, young lady. You're very lucky. Everyone around looked at me with admiring eyes. I lowered my voice and asked. Uncle, how much can you offer for this? The man caressed the jade, thinking for a few seconds. At most, I can only offer this much. He held up 2 fingers. My eyes lit up. 200 million? Finally, this jade was sold for 200 million yuan. Stepping out of the shop, I still felt as if I were dreaming. Looking at the crowd still gathered outside the door, I subtly adjusted my mask. It was a good thing I had disguised myself a bit before coming out, otherwise, it wouldn't have been safe. Bringing the huge sum of money home, the first thing I did was run straight upstairs. I knocked on the door, and Queenie opened it. Tiny, you're back. I nodded and went inside. Ethan was sitting at his desk, his screen full of code I didn't understand. I brought the money. The rest is up to you too. I placed a card in front of him. There's 200 million in here. The password is 6 zeros. The scrolling text started jumping again. Oh my God, what is this? Why is the passerby giving money to the male lead? Is she trying to replace the female lead? No. I only recognize Queenie as the female lead. Passerby, get lost. Are you guys stupid? Who cares who gives the money? As long as the male lead successfully starts his business, that's all that matters. Now that Serena is gone, and Queenie is by Ethan's side, isn't this the plot we wanted? Huh? Is that okay too? When Ethan looked at me with gratitude, I took the card back and handed it to Queenie. My dear, you hold this money. He handles the technical stuff, and you manage the finances. With clear divisions of labor, you can achieve great things. Hee, sure enough, I am truly intelligent and quick-witted. If I gave this money directly to the male lead, what role would the female lead have? What if the male lead fell in love with me? That would be disastrous. I'm someone who firmly believes in no marriage and no children. Even if he's the male lead, handsome and with a bright future, I'm not interested. As expected of the original male and female leads, they work very efficiently. In just a short week, they gathered enough people and started operating the company. This time, with ample capital, they didn't need to be cautious and could proceed boldly. The new gaming company founded by Ethan quickly made progress. According to the scrolling text, Queenie previously rented a small room near my neighborhood, and her life was very difficult. Thinking about that, I felt a bit bad. When they first started assembling their team, I invited her to move in with me. But after less than 2 days, the scrolling text exploded again. This won't do. Why is our darling Queenie living with the passerby? If she doesn't live with the male lead, how can their feelings develop? That passerby is really an eyesore. I just want to jump into the story and punch her. Listen, isn't this passerby deliberately interfering because she likes the male lead? Me? Excuse me, what is this? I've tried my best to fix the plot, so why are you still scolding me? Are you guys sick? Don't you know about propriety and integrity? An unmarried man and an unmarried woman living together before marriage can have a huge impact on the girl, you know? Tiny, what's wrong? Why do you look so angry? Did someone upset you? Queenie came in from outside. Seeing my annoyance, she asked. Her voice was gentle, and she handed me the cup of bubble tea in her hand. Here, a new bubble tea shop just opened downstairs. I bought you a cup. I gritted my teeth, crumpling the tissue on my lap. I'm annoyed with those ungrateful scrolling texts, that's what. Queenie tilted her head and blinked. She opened the lid, inserted the straw into the bubble tea, and held it close to my mouth. Come on, drink some bubble tea to calm down. Only foolish people have abnormal minds, don't bother with them. I took a sip and found the taste a bit familiar. Looking closely, oh, isn't this the bubble tea shop I invested in the other day? Today seems to be their opening day. The bubble tea is good. Is business good? Queenie took a long sip. Very good. I had to wait in line for 20 minutes. I leaned back on the sofa and sighed with satisfaction. Good business is good. This bubble tea shop was originally on another street, and I often ordered delivery from them. But a few days ago, the shop suddenly disappeared from the delivery app. I specifically went to ask and found out that because the shop used high-quality ingredients, their costs were high, and their profits were low, so they were almost forced to close. But I really like their drinks. How could such a conscientious shop be allowed to die young? After considering for a few minutes, I decided to invest 1 million yuan in the shop, without expecting any profit. With my backing, the owner decided to reopen and even launched a new branch right below my apartment complex. After investing in the first shop, I suddenly realized that I couldn't just rely on this windfall, nor could I put all my eggs in the male and female leads basket. What if the male lead fails again? At that time, my tens of millions probably wouldn't be enough for him to start over. After much thought, I put 20 million into a long-term savings account, kept 9 million, and entrusted the remaining 50 million to a professional investment company to manage. The scrolling text kept screaming for Queenie to move in with Ethan, but I pretended not to see it. Hee hee, Queenie is so fragrant and soft, I'd rather live with her, wouldn't I? After all, she's the type who's both good at housework and great at cooking, with excellent culinary skills and the ability to make countless exquisite pastries. Most importantly, she keeps the house very neat and tidy. Before, when I lived alone, my house was always like a pigsty. With her living with me, the house is always spotless, and it makes me feel much happier living here. According to the scrolling text, after Queenie helps Ethan start his business, she will give up her job as a high school teacher and devote herself entirely to caring for Ethan, eventually becoming a gentle and virtuous model wife. I completely disagree with this and don't understand it at all. Why must the female lead sacrifice her career for love and become a girl dependent on the male lead? Queenie has excellent capabilities. In the past 3 years, she not only passed her civil service exams but also led her entire class to achieve a very high university admission rate. Last year, the top scorer in the social sciences in the entire city was also her student. This year, she was even voted an outstanding teacher. During our time living together, I've also chatted with her and know that she loves her job very much and enjoys the feeling of teaching students. Her career has a very bright future, and she should shine in her chosen field. Why should she give up everything for a man? So, no matter how loudly the scrolling text screams or how much it scolds me, I will not compromise on this point. Moreover, I don't believe that living together is absolutely necessary for feelings to develop. I've been living with Queenie for a month now. Except for lunch, which we handle individually, she often cooks extra portions for Ethan in the evenings and brings him dinner when he gets off work. From these comings and goings, I've clearly seen that Ethan's gaze towards Queenie has softened considerably. 6 months later, the new game developed by Ethan's company became a huge hit, generating incredibly good profits. A year later, thanks to more than a dozen popular game titles, the company was officially listed on the stock exchange. Just like in the original plot, Ethan also realized Queenie's feelings for him. On May 20th, Chinese Valentine's Day, he brought company shares and all assets under his name and proposed to Queenie. Thanks to my $200 million investment, I held the majority of the shares in his gaming company, and my annual dividends amounted to several hundred million yuan. Looking at the clock, it's almost the end of the month. If I can't write a story this month, I'll have to live on fresh air next month. After Ethan and Queenie got married, he became even more ambitious. Now, he's not content with just being the owner of a small gaming company. Just like in the original plot, he started venturing into other industries. I know he has the male lead's halo, whatever he does will succeed. So, I continued to invest in him. The money in my bank account grew at an astonishing rate. After becoming rich overnight, I now have more money than I could spend in several lifetimes. After some consideration, I even established a charity fund. Since they got married, the scrolling text had been quiet. But today, it suddenly appeared. Why does the plot feel wrong? Wasn't Ethan supposed to be the one to become a billionaire? Why is the passerby a billionaire now? What passerby? This is our billionaire Jean Qian. The plot has changed a long time ago. Now she's the benefactress of the male and female leads. I'm the original author here. The novel, The Billionaire Cultivation Plan, is now applying to change its name to I Got Rich thanks to the scrolling text and became the benefactress of the male and female leads. The name change will be updated in an hour. No way? Why did the passerby become the main female lead like this? I understand. The author must have transmigrated into her own story. The passerby is the author, right? No wonder Jean Qian knew when the female lead would have opportunities and always snatched them first. So that's it. Shameless author. Author, you. XXX. The text was full of curses for the author. I looked at the two plump little babies lying next to me with a slight sense of guilt, unable to resist pinching the girl's cheek. You can curse the author, but you can't curse me. The end.